We on? Is this microphone on? JC, are you here with me? You are. What's that about? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the morning show, Stock Market TV. Spencer, JC, Steve, Alfonso. We got a lot to discuss today. We're going to move fast. We're going to break things. Hopefully not. Tesla earnings last night. We'll talk about it this morning. A crap ton more earnings. We'll talk about maybe a few of them. Gold coming off, pulling back. We'll talk about that. Rally mode, maybe. For stocks, who knows? We'll have Kenny Glick on the show. We're in a fast market, so we're going to move fast today, JC. Are you prepared for that?
Can you just try to keep up with me, Spencer?
I will do my very, very best.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Woo! What is happening over here? Our pets' heads are falling off.
I don't get that reference.
Really?
No. Sorry. What?
Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. No? Still nothing. Wow. Am I the old man now? Come on, chat. Anybody? Anybody? Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Our pets' heads are falling off. No? Nothing? All right.
Are you gonna tell me?
The town is that way. Nothing? Still nothing? No? Lloyd Christmas? Harry Dunn? No?
Oh, dude, do you know how long it's been since I've seen Dumb and Dumber? It's been
too
like,
long, clearly.
It's been like
Too
20
long.
years. Yeah.
Come on. Chad, you want to school this child? Come on, guys. Pretty
Sorry,
bird.
I have the first scene engraved in my brain where he's driving the limo. But other than that, that movie is it's been forever, man.
I yelled it out on Easter the other day at my in-laws' house. I was like, "We got worms. That's what we're gonna call it."
All right.
It was just kind of like dead silence. I don't know
Yeah.
how worms came up, but
Okay. Anyway.
Listen, we got markets moving, shall we?
Yeah. We'll do Steve in the markets and we'll bring Steve on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Dow futures up only 720 points after only going up 1,000 points yesterday. So that's not nothing. S&P 500 futures up 2.5%. It's 130 points to the upside. 54.50 for the S&P 500 futures. NASDAQ 100 futures are up 3% this morning. That's 550 points to the upside for the NASDAQ 100 futures, just under 19,000. Wow. 30-year bond futures absolutely ripping. You've got interest rates getting destroyed. 1.7% to the upside for 30-year bond futures. That's got to be what stands out the most is the bond market. 1.7% pre-market is no joke for bonds. That's 115.5 for the 30-year. You got crude oil down 1.3%, just under 63. Copper up a little bit, just under 490. Gold down 2.5%, 33.33. Silver flat, just under $33. With the VIX down to 28. Over in funny money land, we got Bitcoin up another 400 points this morning after, what was that, a 6% move yesterday? Huge moves yesterday, just under 94,000 for Bitcoin. You've got Ethereum up 3.3%, just over 1,800. Solana, the big winner, 152 for Solana. That's 2.4% to the upside. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 2.9.
That's higher. That's higher than yesterday. Look at that.
Strazza, what stands out?
Cryptos.
Am I going to be the boring guy that would say that the bond futures are really what stands out, not cryptos? Am I the old boring guy?
I mean, risk assets all around the world are having a good day today. Everybody's really excited about Scott Bessent.
So nothing bonds?
What do you mean nothing bonds?
Nothing? You don't care about bonds? Bonds up 1.7% on the 30-year bond futures? Like, that is like a serious move in bonds.
I'm long bonds.
Great. You don't think this is a huge move for bonds? Am I like no? Nothing?
I mean, yeah, TLT is going to pop a couple points here. It's going to be higher by like 2 points at the open. So yeah, it's.
When was the last time you saw
everything.
your bond futures up 1.7% in the pre-market?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Bitcoin was up what 6% since yesterday.
Right, but that's
7%?
Bitcoin. We're talking about treasury bonds. Like
question
Bitcoin doing
now-
that is not like that big of a deal. Bonds doing that is.
The question really becomes: do U.S. stocks follow Bitcoin? Like, is
Are they not doing?
Bitcoin,
Are they not doing that?
is Bitcoin calling the shots out here
Throw
now?
up slide 2 there, please. This is the best chart. Only the best charts around here, but this is the best of the best. This is a great chart. Come on, Strazza. Tell me this chart isn't. Tell me this isn't a solid chart here. Come on, come on.
I love it, and I saw your tweet this morning, and I loved it.
I'm sure you did. Strazza was out here on video yesterday talking about Bitcoin 110. You know, I had to up that to 240.
That's what
right?
it was. Okay.
Yeah. Strazza said 110. I said, oh, that's cute. Here's a roadmap to 240. How do you like me now? Do you think that's just me being dramatic, or do you think that that's really what's in the cards?
Yes, I definitely think that's in the cards. I think 240 or whatever it is. So that'll be the third extension off of this base that happens this go around, this cycle.
What?
Yeah, listen, shout out Harminder. Not to brag or anything, but I was the chart of the day yesterday. No big deal.
That was great.
I saw that.
I like that tweet too. If we take out 102, if we make new all-time highs, I think you get the next 2 targets. Right?
Dude, you got to stick that 102. I've been talking about that for a while. You know, one of the things that was interesting is, remember when stocks were selling off and everybody was telling us that we were in a bear market? Remember that? One of the things that we were all talking about was that Bitcoin was not under 70. Remember that? We were like, you know, Bitcoin should be under 70, and it just never was. It never even retested those prior cycle highs, which to me, I mean, you want to talk about relative strength, right?
You know what? I just realized. How do I not have my rally glasses and hodl hat on?
Okay. And he's gone.
Can we? I want to show the difference here. Throw up the next 2 slides. So Bitcoin did not retest the prior cycle highs. If you want to just show that one more time, and then we'll go to the stock, to the index.
My issue. All right, you finish your point, and then I have a bone to pick.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. So you're saying Bitcoin?
Go ahead and show the chart. Then you can pick my bone or whatever.
Where's the chart? Is this the chart?
Okay. So look how Bitcoin. No. There you go. Look how Bitcoin did not retest. Got close, but never got to those late 21 highs. Right? Never did. Right? Again, got close, never retested. Now go to the next 2. So here you're looking at the NASDAQ 100 successfully retesting those prior cycle highs. And of course, the S&P 500 doing the exact same thing. So did the German DAX, so did the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and many others as well. Bitcoin did not. And that really stands out to me. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Spencer. Pick your bone or whatever.
You were poo-pooing, still you were and are poo-pooing the bear market, or whatever you want to call that corrective wave, right? And my bone to pick is, it seemed like, you know, whether it was Bitcoin above 70, or it seems like the goalposts were always moving in terms of why you were poo-pooing it, right? Whether it was Bitcoin or whether it was, I don't know, staples, discretionary. You held like 5 different charts that you were sort of hanging your hat on and saying, this is why. See, this is why it's not actually that bad.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like the goalpost was moving. Is you would just like move from one to the next, and then, you know what I mean?
Well, when the S&P 500 broke below 5,600, you know, that puts us at the very least in a much more neutral range. Same thing with the Qs below 500 and the Dow below 42,000. And we've been stuck in this range this entire time, right? And so when we broke those levels, that puts those indexes below overhead supply. And that's a big problem for this overall market. Doesn't necessarily mean that the bull market is over. Quite the opposite. I've been pounding the table that if we're above the prior cycle highs, we want to be spending our time looking for stocks to buy. And that's really what all this is about. Bull market, bear market rally. At the end of the day, how are we allocating our time? Are we looking for stocks to buy, or are we looking for stocks to sell? I have no idea whether it's a bull market or a bear market. I'm just pointing to the fact that there's little evidence that it's a bear market. But let's just say that it is a bear market. Well, the market will signal that, and we will act differently and do different things. In this environment, whether it's a bull market, whether it's a bear market rally, call it whatever you want, Strazza and I have been looking for stocks to buy. We've been buying stocks and crypto, and we've been making a lot of money. So, it doesn't necessarily matter what the market is going to do 9 months from now or a year from now, or how we classify it. It all comes down to, what are we doing with our time? Wake up in the morning, what are we doing? Are we looking for stocks to short? Are we looking for stocks to buy? Are we looking to sell strangles? What are we trying to do? And we've been pounding the table that we've been buying very aggressively. That has worked out incredibly well. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm still looking for opportunities. Strazza pounding the table on Brazil yesterday. I'm totally with them. The PAGs and the Stone Cold doubled overnight. If it's a bear market, great. We're still buying stocks, bro.
I think it's a bear market environment, but we're making the bet that we're in the middle of at least a monster bounce, and potentially, I'm continuing to just stay open-minded to a V bottom here. These event-driven crashes and sell-offs tend to end very quickly, rapidly, with a headline. And I think we could see that.
Well, there was a headline last night about how the trade war is not sustainable with China, and how this whole trade situation could be put to bed in a few months, right? Apparently, allegedly, so they say now.
Can we go to slide 7? I want Strazza. Can you elaborate here on what's happening in Brazil, please? Because you've been spot on. I really like this theme. Yeah. This is the Brazilian Bovespa price in local currency, so EWZ looks nowhere near as good. But go ahead.
I would like to expand more on the broader market environment for U.S. growth stocks. We could do that later, maybe after the interview. Cool. We'll get some VWAP charts, because there's a way to do this, not knowing whether or not the bottom's in yet, whether that was the final low, whether we're going to have a retest, right? Just 2 days ago, it looked like, oh yeah, we're going to go retest the lows again. Then they came out and they repaired the damage yesterday in a major way. That was huge, right? So we have to sit here and wonder, and you could still do different things. One of the things you can do when you're unsure whether or not it's a bear market or a new bull market, maybe for U.S. stocks, is buy stocks around the world instead that are trending well. Brazil is one of those areas. This is very much, for me, a Brazilian real long, as much as it is the individual equities. Real is a very volatile currency. I think you're going to see rotation. Dollars getting smoked out here. But what we haven't seen is the EM crosses, or the EM pairs, perform in the same way as the DM pairs, right? AUD, CAD, Euro, GBP, Yen, all completing these really nice bases. But then you got something like this, the Real. I think you get a catch-up trade, right? You get rotation into the EM currencies. I think we're going to be in a weak dollar environment for a while, is the way it seems. If Real skyrockets here, scoops and scores out of this base, I think it's in the 20s quick. That's a major move. Something like Stone Co, PAGs. I'm in PBR, Valet. Those have not worked at all lately. But these little guys, beautiful breakout. Exactly how you want to see it happen. Breakaway gaps out of these nice tactical bases, reclaiming major VWAP levels from last year's highs. And we would call this a decisive move.
One of the things that's interesting about global markets is that we've been looking at financials. We talked about it yesterday in the show, actually. We probably still have that slide. If you want to throw that up, Spencer, the financials. Do you have that from yesterday?
Yeah, we do.
If you could throw that up, because really the big question is, are financials going to take out those levels? There it is, slide 12. Are financials going to take out those levels and really get going? Because like we talked about yesterday, we don't have bull markets without financials. And so if you're wondering what is going on with U.S. financials and whether they're going to break out or not, European financials keep breaking out. You've got Indian financials breaking out to new all-time highs. So if you're holding back because you're waiting for U.S. financials to do something when all the other financials around the world are already doing what you're waiting for, I think that's really interesting. No?
I think the banks are interesting here. I think you could start to make the bet on failed tops in certain areas, like home builders. I like home builders more than the financials right now.
Well, the home builders is a recovery trade. Financials is where the relative strength is. So there's two different things.
Well, which financials? You're talking about insurance stocks, by the way, and Berkshire and the big six banks. Nothing else in XLF looks that way.
Right. So financials, right? You know,
do you
Visa,
mean?
MasterCard, JP Morgan, Berkshire Hathaway, you know, large cap financials have been a monster leader. Notice how financials never retested those former cycle highs. They didn't even get close. Technology did, communications did, consumer discretionaries below the prior cycle highs, right? Financials did not. By the way, neither did industrials. So it shouldn't be a surprise that in the US, financials and industrials are the leaders. And then when you look around the world, these countries that are loaded up with industrials and financials, they're outperforming the United States. I think it's less of a, you know, US versus global and more of a sector rotation thing.
Well,
you know,
there
for
are
me.
other elite. There are other leaders. I mean, utilities, staples. It's not just financial.
Yeah, but a lot of these countries around the world that are leading are not loaded up in utilities, right? Right. So it's not that. It's the industrials and the financials that are driving Germany higher, not their utilities exposure. You know.
I
Just
am.
want to say,
I was talking about the U.S., but all right, yeah.
Spencer, are we going to do earnings? I got a little news here. Shout out to Summit Pharmaceuticals. Ivenescimab in combination with chemotherapy achieves statistically significant superiority in PFS versus tislelizumab. Summit Pharmaceuticals up. How'd I do? Up 15% here pre-market. So we're going to sell the double. And just shout out to the team. I don't know who brought this one to me, if it was Alfonso or Rick. I'm not doing this by myself. One of the guys was like, "You got to look at the SMMT. It's liquid." Oh boy, it was liquid.
Sounds like our man from Kansas with how maybe have played a role in that.
No, it wasn't.
Sounds like him, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, Alfonso calling it out. It was him.
It was because
So where did
usually
this come
JC,
from? It came from the junior halls.
You have to ask him. It probably came from the breakout multiplier scan. So he usually the biotechs are not liquid. So when we're playing biotechs, we're usually at the index level, or you got to play the really big ones. So ample liquidity in the options there. That's always nice. Love that.
Ample liquidity.
Nice job. All right, can we talk Tesla for a second?
Oh my God, you took the words right out of my mouth. So
everybody's so excited.
Did Tampon Tim nail the bottom? That's what Spencer wants to know, right? Spencer, is that what you've been thinking about?
You've been thinking about? No, but now that you mentioned, I would be curious to see a circle on the chart of when that happened.
Go ahead and go ahead, slide 2, please. There, Spencer Israel.
There we go. Okay. So bottom line here, we're up almost 8% this morning. The numbers were predictably bad, but the real story is, according to Mr. Elon Musk, he's going to be stepping back from the whole Doge thing in a month or so, give or take, and refocusing back on the companies that he supposedly runs. And they are on track to still produce more affordable cars and all that stuff. But the sales were bad. Everyone knew they'd be bad. That wasn't a surprise. Maybe it was a surprise to the degree to which they were bad, but who even cares? The stock is up 8% this morning.
So correct me if I'm wrong. They came out with terrible earnings and the stock is rallying anyway. What does that mean to you guys?
Here's the thing. Okay. Do we have the earnings reaction score yet? No, we'll have that. We'll have that at the end of the day.
30 points to the upside in about 24 hours.
Wait. So we adjust the earnings reaction based on the activity in the broader market. When this was going on last night, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at Tesla's up 4.5% and it missed earnings." The market futures were up like 2%. And Tesla's a very
great point, Steve.
Okay. So Tesla would have been up that much or more without earnings, just based on the futures yesterday.
Excellent
point.
point.
Our earnings reaction score will basically nullify that out and adjust it for the action in the market in today's session. So
how many times do we see this? If you report on a bad day, tough shit, right? And then the same is true on a good day. Good job, right? So
it's still a positive, right? Because I think it was a good size miss. At least on the revenue side, it looked like they missed by like 10%, right? That's never good. And the stock's just wearing it. So good, but maybe not as good as you think.
So stock's at 256 in terms of alpha. Right now putting up 3x the returns of the S&P 500 this morning, right? So if the S&P is up 2.5%, this is up 7.5%, right? So 3x the returns, nice alpha there. I really like this a lot for the reasons that I've talked about. When you have like a governor or representative, whatever that guy was, the guy that lost the election with what's her face.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a guy like that who goes out of his way to tell everybody how broke he is and how he doesn't own any stocks, and then he's out on stage talking about how excited he gets when a particular stock is falling in price, like, man, like, you got to be close to a bottom when you see something like that. And, that's the bet that, we want to make. And that's the bet that I'm making. And 250 is the level there for a variety of different reasons. It's the 61.8% retracement of that entire rally from the 23 lows. And then you also have a confluence of trend lines from those former highs. Strazza, am I getting cute with those trend lines, or will you allow it?
It's all right.
It's
fine.
Because the Fibonacci retracement is there, it's allowed because it reiterates the confluence, perhaps.
I see what you did there, and I don't hate it.
Okay. All right. Shout out to diagonal trend lines. We are not a group that adheres to the diagonalness of trend lines. We're more of a horizontal trend line kind of crew. Not to be racist or biased to those who partake in the diagonal world. It's just not for us, but sometimes it is. So, I'm open-minded to it. And Strazza, I appreciate you being open-minded to it too.
One of the first characteristics, right, although it may not be the most reliable, but typically one of the first characteristics that you'll get during a trend reversal pattern playing out is some sort of trend line break. So it's not that it's not good information. It's usually early information. It's often false information, right? Something like a MACD crossover could fail a lot, but it doesn't mean it's like not valid analysis. You need it to be confirmed by other things, which is exactly what you're doing here.
Dawson's talking about Tesla owns 11,509 BTC. Is that playing a factor in this at all, you think?
Who cares? No, I don't think that's
no.
Material. I don't know how material that is to Tesla. That sounds like a lot. They own that much? Jesus. I just want to say shout out. I got a compliment in the chat from Daniel Weiser. Straz went from pinned X post bearish crypto to hodl hat real fast.
You did.
You're right.
You did.
Thank you. They
paid me the big done, sir. Well done.
Life comes at you fast, right?
Just took it on both sides. And when you stopped getting that follow through, like we were long puts in Mara,
$1 billion, according to my calculator. $1 billion
for them. I mean, what's the market cap on the stock? You know what I mean?
$1 trillion. What's the market cap right now? A lot more.
Cool.
Trillion.
It's still cool.
Trillion.
It's cool that they own that much Bitcoin.
Tesla right now is 765 billion. So they have 1 billion in Bitcoin.
Elon gives 0 Fs. That should be higher.
It should be higher. I agree. Elon, do better, bro. Do better. Everybody likes to hate on Elon. I'll join in on the party and hate on Elon. Strazza's right. You should own more Bitcoin. It's unacceptable, Elon.
If you look at the little tactical tops that we had in crypto, right, in Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, Coinbase actually did see some downside follow through. But look at something like Mara or Riot. If Bitcoin was going to go into a prolonged bear market, right, Mara and Riot were going to be getting absolutely slaughtered. They were in these multi-year distribution patterns, just hanging out at the lower bounds and never broke. They never broke down. Trust me, we were sitting there holding puts in Mara, like, what's going on here as the market was getting slaughtered? This Bitcoin miners are out here showing relative strength, right? So now you could take those same patterns and you got lows right there. Like, look at Riot, Mara, Hut, whatever. You could really define your risk so clearly here and take a shot on those tops failing. It's okay to not know which direction the resolution will be in a pattern, but be interested in playing it in either or both directions. And we've done that a number of times over the past few months. Made money on the same patterns in both directions in home builders, biotechs now, Bitcoin. So you can do that. It's not something you shouldn't look at something and have to pick a side. You could kind of stay open-minded and maybe pick one side and then a week later be like, oh, maybe not.
And, to Spencer's point about like picking a side, in a lot of these cases, we've been stuck between overhead supply and support. Bitcoin was in that category, for the record, stuck below 90, but above 70. and now here we are breaking out above 90. So Spencer, to your earlier point about like, moving the goalposts, it's not about moving the goalposts, it's about having several goalposts. And the fact that Bitcoin did not retest the prior cycle highs, the fact that Bitcoin is the first one to recover above that resistance level before S&P's Qs down and the others, probably leads me to believe that the others are going to follow Bitcoin. So is Bitcoin a leading indicator? I'm not going to say it's not.
Isn't it like, okay, shouldn't we think about Bitcoin the same way as we're thinking about Netflix or Palantir? Just some of the strongest ones where the relative strength has been through this corrective wave. They're going to be the first back to new all-time highs. Right? Bitcoin's just another growth stock showing relative strength out here.
That Netflix chart is crazy. Wait, going back to the Tesla for a second, JC, I understand what you're saying, but couldn't you just say Tesla has been just sort of the same as the market, just a choppy mess the last few weeks, months? I mean,
it has definitely been a choppy mess, but it is more specifically where this thing has been a choppy mess, right? It's where it's been trapping the bears, the tampon guy, like
it's been trapping the bulls. It's trapping the bulls too, though. I mean, right? I mean, it's sideways chop.
Well, it hasn't been trapping the bulls as it is trapping the bears to the downside. Anything above 250, the bears are wrong and the squeeze is on. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time. I could smell like, it smells fishy, at turning points, and it has certainly smelled that way. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the tampon guy's going to get squeezed. He probably is. And if Tesla's above 250, we want to be long. I think 400 is next. Could be messy up there for a little bit around that 400, 500 area. But a breakout above that completes that multi-year base. And the next target for Tesla is it becoming the largest company in the world.
Okay.
Before we bring,
am I amusing you? How am I funny? Tell me
how
funny.
I love it. I hope it happens.
How am I fucking funny?
No, I'm rooting for that.
I get that reference. I get, JC. Before we go to Kenny, let's just rip through a couple earnings here, Steve, because we have like 50 this morning, right? I don't know if you want to bring up the calendar fonts, but
shout out Philip Morris. Still a bull market for Zyn. This thing's just, you can't even find them on the shelves.
They own the Zyn?
Yeah.
That can't be good for you.
They're going to own anything good or creative or new in tobacco forever. We have the data. Nothing's getting through them. Juul tried, failed miserably. So shout out Philip Morris, up 4.5%. Boeing, rare earnings beat and positive reaction, 5% from the Boeing. QBTS, that's quantum. I'm telling you, some of these coils in quantum, I'm very interested. Put a little dip my toes into the Rigetti a little bit yesterday, like that. Tesla, right, 7%. SAP, that's big. European software, up over 8%. Boston Scientific, big move, 8-9% on an earnings beat. And Weeble's just been going crazy. I don't think that's earnings related, but they're up.
No, he's not.
And Spencer, just popping circuit breakers out here with the Weeble.
I agree with Dawson. Dawson, talking about this gray calendar. White would be better. I agree, Dawson.
Really? Okay. I kind of like it. I'm open to white. I'm always on white backgrounds as a general rule are better than any other background.
I'm gonna write a letter with feedback to those in higher offices to make this a white background. Fun fact, in the Masters, as unbelievable as Augusta is, they have like a section for like people to write in like requests and stuff like that. Like, dude, if you have any complaints about that place, like seriously, like
that's awesome. That's just so classy. They keep it classy, right?
They do. I mean, it was
complaint box.
There was a legitimate complaint box. We had like a complaint. I forgot what we were complaining about. It was like a joke. It'd be like, could you imagine if we actually dropped this complaint? What was the complaint about? I forgot. It was nothing. It was nothing legitimate. But
so your sweet Tesla up 8% now here pre-market.
As long as it's up 250, you flip the book long. Tampon Tim gets squeezed. That's the trade.
You don't want to be short. The stock's been decimated. Vietnam says it has started trade talks with the U.S. Shout out Vietnam. Vietnam has arrived. Vietnam.
I know we got Kenny, but quickly, can we just do slide 2, please? I mean, if we're talking about Bitcoin, we're talking about Tesla owning Bitcoin. I mean, these are the guys, right? I'm old school. I still call it MicroStrategy. I can't help myself. I understand that they changed the name. So this is the company formerly known as MicroStrategy. Man, 800 Strazza?
The strat, easily.
800.
I mean, if we're north of 500, you're hitting 800. This thing, yeah, come on. You're talking about Bitcoin 240? Can you imagine?
Dude, you got MicroStrategy at 1,000, which puts it at what market cap?
Scary.
You're looking at 3x from current levels.
It's scary.
So 3x from current levels right now. MicroStrategy has a market capitalization of just under 100 billion. So you're looking at a $300 billion company, right?
They might be competing with Tesla for the largest company in the world soon.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's got a long way to go. I mean, Bitcoin would really have to. I mean, Bitcoin at 1 million still doesn't even put it there.
Love it.
Right? Yeah.
So good.
All right, I'm bringing Kenny out. Let's do this.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house. Look at Strazza in the background over there going for a walk. Look at him. Look at him. He's like an old lady, just like kind of walking around with like leaning over. Speaking of old ladies, Kenny, you kind of look a little like an old lady this morning. I want to just tell you, you did a hell of a job yesterday on the live stream. Excellent. It's almost like
which one? He's working overtime here.
No, you really did. The live stream yesterday at 4. If you missed the live stream as we were going into the Tesla earnings, Kenny walking through the day, it was great. Spencer, if you want to drop the link so people can check it out. Well done, sir. I always learn something from you when we do that. Should we dive right into the Tesla, or you got something else on your radar?
No, Tesla, because we did it live, and I don't want to talk. I don't want to ever have the debate again. I'm not here to debate with you, Jerry. We're not here to debate. The market's rigged. So when you saw that Tesla move yesterday, one of the biggest companies on the planet reports earnings, knee-jerk reaction up, knee-jerk reaction down. Where does that reaction go to? To the VWAP, the prior day VWAP, and it holds. And then I don't trade aftermarket. I didn't want to do anything until the dust was settled. But there's the rigging. There's your VWAP faux show, bro. I actually got long Tesla, and I was telling anybody that wanted to listen, just own it. That's it. You just saw them wash out the mark. They washed it out to where they needed to get it. And we were talking about whether we want to fade this market. No, you don't want to fade the market today. You want to buy everything. Every time something gets tested by that VWAP. And right now, if you didn't come in long Tesla, it just held VWAP 2 more times. You should be in it. And look what the Qs just did also. You don't want to be fading the market, because right now, the idea that, again, when we started talking recession, that was the end of the bear market, right? And Kramer said the market was going to crash on that Monday. It was over. And it's real. It's what you're seeing is real. And I've lived this moment over and over again for 30 years. It's never different. The stories change. Trump broke the market. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he broke the market. Right. It's over. Capitalism is dead. We're never going to see an up move ever again. Okay, sure. So now everyone's thinking, oh my God, is the bull market here to stay? Look, I don't know whether or not it is or not, but I'll tell you one thing. If you're looking for signs, if Tesla goes red today, we're in a bear market. If Tesla stays green today, we're in a bull market. How about that? To generalize it that much, that's as simple as you can put it. But right now, everything just pulled back to VWAP and held. Rally time, baby. And I'm not a fan of buying gapped up markets, but I'm not getting in the way of this move. And even stocks like Boeing, I'm usually looking, oh God, Boeing's gapped up on earnings. I got to short this.
Definitely
not. Again, I need real specifics today. So I need to see stocks break VWAP, test them from underneath. The CEO of the company has to call me and tell me, look, we might be going out of business in about an hour. That's how scared I am to go short something right now. And again, that could change an hour from now, but man, I'm not getting in the way of this market. But I want to talk about how unlucky of a person I am right now. And then I'm going to get back to what we're doing here. I bought a stock yesterday. Okay. SRAD, because this company was ripping. And I was like, ooh, what's this? This company is so interesting. I got my son to call them yesterday and apply for a job. Data analytics in the gambling industry. And this stock has been rallying while the market was getting pummeled. So what do? I bought it. And not more than 4 hours later, they do an offering You just can't make this stuff up, and that's kind of where it's just unbelievable. But if this stock fights back today, and again, look at this chart, consolidation break. Again, over the last year, this chart looks pretty damn good. Consolidation break, consolidation break, consolidation break. I won't mind if it pulls back, but man, oh man, I don't like owning stocks. I'm going to own this stock, and if it breaks all-time highs, I'm putting probably my kids' life savings into this trade. I'm taking money out of CDs to buy this stock because, again, IPOs that break all-time highs tend to rip. So this company, and again, I don't usually care about what companies do. I went and I called the company yesterday. I'm becoming friends with the CEO out of Switzerland. So this is my new favorite idea right here. But we'll see how it plays out. So
JC, what is the indicator that you have when a stock from multiple corners of your world is talked about simultaneously? That's either very bullish or very bearish, right?
Yeah.
So
Why? What happened?
this is not the first time this stock has come up in our world the last week or so, last couple
Really?
weeks. It got talked about last week, I think, in the analyst meeting. It got talked about. It was on some scan. I thought I saw it. The stock has been the stock keeps it keeps popping up it just keeps coming up. Kenny didn't know that. Yeah.
I don't know. This one
British, right?
This one eluded me until yesterday, basically. And no joke, I went deep dive. I was on the phone with my wife and my kids. I'm like, you're going to work here. This is where my son went to college to work at this company. I'm excited. And normally I get excited and the stock goes to zero, but hopefully this time is different. As long as Kathy Wood doesn't say that she's getting involved, I'm going to be long this trade. And if Kathy Wood says she's in, I'm immediately selling it and going short because she's ruined 3 of my ideas over the last couple of years.
Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure she has owned this at some point.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I can check. But
yeah,
Kenny, can you do me a favor? Throw up the Tesla chart again.
Yeah. Man.
Normally, when you have a gap up like this, Tesla or otherwise, you tend to be you're looking to fade this traditionally. Yeah. I understand in this market, that's not your strategy here, but what would it take?
Let me stop you right there. I will short the Qs and I will short Tesla today, but they have to give me exactly what I just described. They got to break VWAP, consolidate, try to rally, and fail. Then I'll have the confidence to short. But I'm not getting in the way right now. I'm feeling that this market might be in one of those FOMO moments where nobody wants to be left out of the next monster move up. So I'm a little bit nervous to short, but if the trade sets up, again, I trade so algorithmically, I'm a robot. So if this happens, then this happens, I'll press the button. Right now, I'm just throwing out some caution out there to try to play the shorts today. That's it. And again, you could get that fade, that 9:30 candle. Sometimes that's the trade. You'll get the sellers showing up at 9:30. Again, my original, when I was taught, it was that 9:30 open, and all you did was short the open and just use the high as your out. If it broke back above that first print, you covered and got the hell out of its way. But a lot of times you'll get that 9:30 sell, which could be for us, the day trader, you're making your day's pay right there. You just got to be ready to cover and get the hell out of the way if it starts to rip back in your face. So, again, and we're fading right now as we're talking. So I need the stock to break the blue line, go back to where it tested it earlier, try to rally and then roll and give me that finger of God, as I call it. It rolls over, you get the knuckle, and then it rolls over, and then you look to see if it tests the 4 o'clock price right there. But man, oh man, I hate to say this out loud. I've never been this bullish. I'm scared. Hold me. I don't want to be a bull. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm very, very cautious to put some shorts on today. And, again, Boeing would be one of those where I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, we're shorting this Boeing. No, maybe not today. So that's what I'm saying.
I want to mention that Kenny is doing a much more in-depth stream, video, live event, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow with me, which is actually pretty cool. It's going to be tomorrow afternoon. The link is in the chat. It is also on the screen. It is not going to be on YouTube. Or maybe we'll put it on YouTube later. I don't know, but you definitely cannot watch it on YouTube live. I'll tell you that. So the only way to get it is in that link, and Kenny's going to basically walk through this, but in a lot more detail, right? I promise you that. So you want to be there tomorrow. I'll remind everyone about it tomorrow as well, but tomorrow at 4:00 is when this is going down. So
Very cool, man.
Very excited for that. Very excited for that.
We too. Us too. Speaking of, by the way, you just mentioned that bull stock. You know, as much as it's been getting pounded on the way back down, this has been one of the best long intraday stocks over the last 2 weeks. Even on these down days, there's been these. Look at yesterday. Yesterday we had the faux show, bro. This was one of our biggest paydays the last couple of days. So then and then what's great about it is that you have these beautiful moves up, and then it does give it all back. The stock's been a dog shit stock to own, but man, oh man, the stock intraday, and just like now, you just broke over the VWAP and you're back to prior day VWAP. This has been a better long trade, even though the chart looks like it's just been getting hammered. Awesome for day trading. This is one of my favorite stocks, and here we go again. So love it. Nice call, Strazza.
Very nice.
All right, be careful out there. That's all. That's what I do. Again, I do this live all day. You'll know whether or not we're shorting. But right now, it's been Tesla long, Q's long. So far, so good. And we're just going to hang back. And hopefully this SRAD shows me some love today. So, all right, guys, good luck. I'll see you tomorrow. It should be a fun time.
Adios, Kenny. Well done, sir.
I do love when Kenny gets like emotionally invested in a stock. It doesn't happen all that often, right? But it every so often, right? So I like it. I like hearing what he's emotionally invested in, right? So Sport Radar, it's on my radar. I don't own it, never have owned it, but they IPO'd in that post COVID, bubble, right? So they got punished for that, just for getting their IPO out the door, sort of near the top of all that madness, but.
Well, thank you, Spencer, for remembering that this is one that we've talked about. We've talked about it a lot. And if you get the Strazza letter, you were alerted about both Sports Radar and Genius Sports when they broke out of the
Strazza letter
and took out their VWAP from prior cycle highs. I love it when Kenny's on board, but we like these stocks a ton. They've been in our growth universes for a long time, and I consider them both picks and axes for the mega trend that is online gaming, sports gambling. Mega trend. These guys.
Listen, guys, I've got trades to put on. I got people to see, things to do. I'm gonna leave you guys.
You can't leave us. You're gonna leave us now?
Listen, guys, try not to get us canceled, please. While I'm gone, we came pretty close while I was on vacation. We got pretty close to getting canceled, I heard. So I don't know if that was fake news or not.
No,
not fake news.
No, opposite. Ratings were through the roof.
Oh, okay, great. Well, see ya.
Fucking knew that was gonna happen. I wanted to give a shout out to AT&T for resuming their buybacks. Hey, good job, guys. It's up like 1% this morning, last I checked. But I was, what I did? I pulled a Steve this morning. I was watching CNBC because I was on the treadmill and I put it on the screen. So I was watching. I got a full 45 minutes of CNBC this morning. So that's where I saw that AT&T thing. I couldn't hear, but I could watch, right? So
what was it good for you? Did you get to watch Andrew and Joe fight a little bit?
Again, I couldn't hear. I was mostly just reading the ticker on the bottom. That's mostly what I was doing.
Myrtle Coin, shout out.
Just reading the ticker and sweating profusely. We have Mary in the house. We will bring her out. Before we do that, was there anything else earnings wise? I mean, we had Boeing this morning, which is sort of a never-ending disaster.
I could talk about VWAPs for like 5 minutes before the bell here. We got a double to sell. If breakout multiplier people are in here, this is the kind of strength you just want to sell right into on the open, because you're going to have more than a double. I don't know if it's going to be a triple or a quadruple at the open, but get rid of half right away. Go.
All right. Let's bring Mary out.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you guys? Good morning. Good morning.
Doing great. Today, just a really good day out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What do you like?
So, Well, yesterday I went shopping, was buying up all the Bitcoin plays. So I brought the Bitcoin chart because I heard a certain someone was chart of the day, and I wanted to raise his chart of the day with a VWAP. So yesterday I was watching Bitcoin
Fighting words.
with...
Them fighting words, Mary. Mary, have you slipped into Patrick's DMs yet and said, "What's going on? Why haven't I been featured for chart of the day?" Have you had that conversation yet?
I have not, but I was included a few weeks ago with one of I think it was the Amazon chart. It was the first time I had been mentioned. I'm not gonna lie, I let out a little squeal. My husband's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm on chart. I've been included in the chart report." It was a big moment for me. I screenshotted it and everything. So
one of us.
So yeah, yesterday I was watching. Which squiggly?
The squiggly here.
Which
I see a big important squiggly line up top here.
The VWAP, right? Anchored from the January highs. Yeah. So what I was watching yesterday, Bitcoin was starting to move, and 91 has always kind of been our level internally for the obvious reasons of support, then with becoming resistance, yada, yada, yada. So I have this VWAP anchored from the highs, and we started moving through it, and I just started buying stuff. I bought MicroStrategy, I bought Coinbase, I bought Mara, I bought Riot. I bought all the things.
Me too.
Yep, exactly. Because not only on this daily chart, we've got this bullish divergence in the RSI down below as we were kind of making that little base there. I mean, it looks so great. And I think the risk is not owning enough. As long as we're above 91, as long as we're above this VWAP anchored from the highs, I think all systems go. So for me, this is what I was focused on yesterday. It looks spicy.
I love it. And I think you're doing the right thing. With something like this, you could just build a basket. Like the cryptos themselves, I was just doing Ripple and Solana. But last night I was just laying in bed like Ondo, Sui, Jasmine. Like, you ever do that? But that's what you do. And you could do it with the miners too, or the crypto equities. Okay, a little MicroStrategy, a little Coinbase, a little Robinhood, a little Mara, spice up your life.
Yeah.
You're building a basket.
Everyone needs a little spice.
Yeah. Shout out to Spice Girls.
Oh, there's a blast from the past. So obviously the Bitcoin plays, the market, it's interesting here because if I didn't have enough time to put enough charts together, so this was the only chart I brought today. But with just the S&P 500, if you're looking at SPY, I'm really interested in VWAP anchored from the highs, and then also VWAP anchored from the lows. And so we've got kind of on the daily chart, the most recent lows, we have kind of a VWAP pinch going on right now. And so for me, I'm kind of waiting to see how this kind of shakes out. So from the highs, we've got around 550. From the lows around 520-ish. And so, I kind of feel like we're still kind of in this, is this just the bear market rally, or is this the V bottom? And now we go to all-time highs. I think those VWAPs will come into play and be really important information going forward. Oh, hey, thanks for this chart. Who did this? Bonds. Is this
so good. So good. No, because we're always thinking the same thing. I pinged Fonz before. I'm like, we got to talk about these VWAPs.
Yeah.
And if you drop the one that we were using that turned us bearish on time, back when the S&P was at 575, the VWAP from the August low now, a reclaim of that can be used as confirmation, I think. And then you're basically right there and you're undoing this top in the same way that Bitcoin's doing right now. That's what the major averages look like. So first step, 550. You see it right here. That's the VWAP from the all-time highs. And then you always want like another level to confirm it. I love the VWAP now from the August lows, now from below, right? We're going to test it from below now. There it is.
Yep.
I think that's the ultimate confirmation. Then you're undoing the tops and it's go time. And then we're talking about new all-time highs at the index level.
Yep, absolutely. So now I'm starting to look at charts that, were tops and now starting to question, are they tops? Like, for example, the homies, and right now I've got Pulte on my watch list because it's kind of reclaiming that level. I think it's right about 100. Yeah. So I'm watching that one.
Yeah.
What's that?
Nice beat the other day. And this is really like the preferred home builder. I love Pulte. It's the best one. And that's a perfect looking failed top. Look at the momentum divergence. Absolutely killer.
Yep. And then also on my list, just a couple of other stocks that we've talked about before that are still kind of sitting right there, almost close to new highs. Look like they're getting ready to break out. So Melly is still on my list. I was adding to a position on Melly just a couple of days ago. Virtu looks great. Take Two Interactive. This one.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
The chat is also, Colin in the chat was also calling out Virtu. They just had earnings, right? It's never like a big reactor to earnings because it's like the steadiest business model in the world, barely moves. So you never get like a monster earnings beat candle, but look for some follow through here. If it comes out of this base, Virtu back into the 40s, it hasn't seen the 40s really. That's just blue skies, new all-time highs. And shout out, these are some of the smartest guys on Wall Street that work at Virtu. I just love to see this. Love to see them win.
Yeah, and it would be completing that monster base back from 2018. So that one looks spicy too.
Love it.
A lot of great charts, and it's going to be an interesting few days. Are we going to get the most information this week ever?
Oh God.
Next week.
Probably not this week. Probably next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Whatever goes on today, with the political people, the market can't sell that, right? So we were going to have stuff going on during today's session. So pay attention. We don't want to see some big green in the red. Got to be on high alert for that in a day like today. We got some big red to green already this week. Monday was like, oh no, we're breaking the VWAPs from the lows. I was like, hold on. We could reclaim them. No follow through. Now right back. So really choppy stuff. Let's get back above 550 and spy that VWAP from the all-time highs. Then buyers are back in control.
Precisely.
Are you dipping your toes in any of the mega growth, or are you staying away for now?
I have been mainly more for the longer term, not necessarily just for a quick trade. I've pinged you a couple of times about the Tesla. I was buying Tesla yesterday just because for the last 7 weeks, I mentioned it last week on the show, that VWAP from the lows, it's been hanging out there. What is that? Yeah, so the 2023 lows, it's around 222.30. It hung out there for about 7 weeks. And so I took the swing that, with earnings happening overnight, maybe they knocked it out of the park, or maybe it was the miss and the rally, and finally the bottom's in. I've been adding to some of my NVIDIA and semis just because it's the semis. Amazon as well. We need to see if this gets back above that 190 level. So yeah, I'm taking swings. We'll see what happens.
Riot dropped a press release this morning announcing a $100 million credit facility with Coinbase. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Only up about 5%, but Coinbase is one of those guys like you want on your side in the world of crypto. Like if they're like blessing Riot with $100 million facility, that's kind of like they believe in Riot. They're on there. That's not nothing, because we need a way to kind of differentiate. I don't want to dig through the cap tables and read all these filings and pay attention to the secondary offerings and all the funky stuff that they're doing and the way they're borrowing money nonstop to buy Bitcoin, these companies. I don't want to have to dig through and figure out who are the good ones, who are the bad ones. Coinbase is just kind of like deciding for us out here. I trust them. Riot on the good list. Riot's now on the nice list.
I see that headline, and my interpretation is that Riot just announced $100 million Bitcoin purchase, right?
They need some money, but Coinbase getting involved here.
Okay.
Coinbase wanted to be their lender. They could go and do a secondary, right? Or put out some convertibles like MicroStrategy's doing. I think Mara's just doing secondaries. She's been doing secondaries and buying Bitcoin.
Rachel's asking if we're doing any more Strazza live streams. Not today. We will bring it back. I promise we'll bring it back. We're not doing it this week because Strazza has doubles to sell. He's got things to do.
We actually do, like right now.
Yeah, like right now. So, all right, you guys want to do some recess maybe and hop out?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess I'll start. We're always on HBO Max looking for new shows, and Rose yelled last night because this guy Nathan For You, Spencer. This man is just hilarious. It's very different style of comedy. I don't even know what the hell you call it. But it's the show. His new show is called The Rehearsal. We watched last season. It was an absolute blast, and I guess it just came back like the first one's out. On HBO, they're doing something with plane simulations. I'm sure it's going to be hysterical. This man just makes me laugh so hard. So we're excited to watch that.
I don't know how to describe what he does. It's very strange.
It's like the uncomfortable comedy.
It is
You know what I
very
mean?
uncomfortable comedy.
Yeah.
Definitely uncomfortable comedy. I also saw season 1. I probably don't need to watch season 2. It made me a little too uncomfortable at times. I think he's great, but I think I'm going to pass.
Really? It's not for you.
I have too much
for you.
I have too much. I've seen bits and pieces, but I have too much other things to watch. Andor just came back. I have to watch that. Dude, I'm neck deep in The Sopranos. I have been for like most of the year.
You shouldn't be allowed to watch anything until you finish The Sopranos.
We're trying. We watch like 2 or 3 a week. It's hard to binge, man. Yeah. Mary, what do you got? What is this?
Okay, so I brought a picture along from vacation where I taught my kids a game. I'm curious if you know this game. So put it up. We'll see if anyone in the chat knows this game.
Heard of it.
Hit. So this is a fun family. I used to play this as a child, and so now I've introduced it to my kids. This is a commodities game. No joke. It's actually fun though. You hear commodities, you're like, what? But you are trying to corner the market on a certain commodity, and so in your hand you've got a variety of the commodities like oats. You can see oats, wheat, coffee. There's a bull, there's a bear, and so market opens and you're playing with a group of people and you're going 2, 2, 3, 3, trying to trade your cards so that you get a full hand of all of the same commodity, and then you ring the bell and there's lots of screaming and yelling. That's why it's great for my family.
How fun.
This is a great game. So teach them while they're young. My kids loved this on vacation, and it was a great family fun night.
You're raising some future pit traders.
That's right.
Sean,
future traders.
Slack. Sean's saying that they've played this before at his trader meetups, which is funny. I don't have this game. I've heard of this game. I have an equally nerdy game though that's called QE. I swear to God, it's a board game where you basically act like a central bank.
That does sound nerdy.
It's called QE.
The name of the game is QE. I shit you not.
Great.
So if you have kids, get Pit. Teach them how to trade.
Pit's probably more fun.
It is. There's, like I said, there's lots of yelling and screaming, and it's high energy.
Yeah, awesome. No, my recess. There were some comments about my background. My background is in flux. Right? We had to rearrange the room for this nursery. Apparently, we have to have a nursery for a baby. Is that a thing that you need to do? So the nursery is more or less complete and assembled at the moment. There's like 1 or 2 small things we have to do, but that was the weekend project. So we did that. So I feel really good about that. Now, Mary, we just have to install the car seat. That's kind of the next big thing.
That's more important than the nursery because
apparently
got to come
that's
home.
Like difficult or something, and then we have to go get it inspected because I learned they would not let you leave. Literally, they would not let you leave the hospital with the baby if you don't have 2 things. You need to have a car seat and you have to have a pediatrician. Without those 2 things, they're not going to let you leave. So, got to have it. Apparently,
gotta have it.
What if you don't believe in healthcare?
Then I don't know. Then why would you be at the
hospital?
Then
you're probably not at the hospital.
Yeah.
So a nursery, Spencer, is where the baby lives.
Yeah, it would not right off the bat, right?
I was gonna say, I think our kids slept kind of right next to me for about the first 6 months, 6 months. Yeah. So
yeah. We're getting close. We're like 5 weeks out, so or less. I don't know.
Exciting, yeah, or less.
Yeah, who can say honestly? So, if you don't hear from me one day, if I'm just gone, you know why. I'm just gonna be. I'm gone. Like I'm
excited for you, Spencer.
All right, we shall see. I'm excited as well. All right, it's 9:28. Let's get out before the open. That'll be nice change.
Sell some doubles.
Sell some doubles. That's it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. And thanks for watching. Drop a like if you can. Links in the description to the Strazza letter, to the hot corner, Alfonso's chart of the day, Kenny's live event tomorrow is in the chat. Get all those things. They're all free. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Go make some money.
Adios.
Bye, guys.
I can't take no loss. I don't need no